condo in Fort Lauderdale that sold for $1.39 million in 2022 just went pending at $950,000. A home in Punta Gorda that closed at $480,000 at the peak just sold for $285,000. And a townhouse in Cape Coral that a young couple bought with an FHA loan 3 years ago. Underwater. They owe more than it's worth and they can't afford the insurance to keep it. These aren't outliers. This is Florida in 2026. We've been pulling the latest data from Zillow, Redfin, Resi Club, Atom, and Florida Realtors. And what we found is that 4 of the 5 U.S. metro areas with the biggest home price drops between January 2025 and January 2026 are all in Southwest Florida.
49% of real estate agents we surveyed said it was a buyer's market, meaning that buyers had the advantage because homes weren't selling quickly and supply was sufficient.
Not scattered across the country, not split between states. 4 out of 5, all Florida. And March made it worse. The spring selling season that was supposed to bring buyers back, it didn't. Inventory kept climbing, prices kept sliding, and the condo market entered what can only be described as full distress. We're going to walk you through 8 cities where the numbers are the ugliest. We're ranking them from bad to devastating. City number 2 has a stat that genuinely kept us up. And at the end, we'll break down what to do whether you own, you're buying, or you're trying to get out. But first, why is Florida getting hit this hard when the rest of the country is holding steady? It comes down to 4 forces hitting at the same time. First, the migration wave that powered the entire boom collapsed 93% from 310,892 net domestic migrants in 2022 to just 22,517 in 2025. The people who were supposed to fill all those new homes and condos stopped coming. Second, insurance. Florida homeowners pay premiums 181% above the national average. Some coastal properties are paying $8,000 to $10,000 a year, and 20% of Florida homeowners have simply dropped coverage entirely because they can't afford it. Third, the post-Surfside condo laws. After the Champlain Towers collapse killed 98 people, Florida mandated structural inspections and reserve funding for buildings 30 years or older. That triggered special assessments of $20,000 to $400,000 per unit. Owners who can't pay are forced to sell, often at massive losses. Fourth, the statewide condo market now has 13.2 months of supply, with prices down 6.1% year over year and 92% of major condo markets declining. That's the steepest annual condo price drop since 2009. When all 4 of these forces hit the same city at the same time, you get what we're about to show you. Let's go. City number 8, Lakeland. Lakeland sits between Tampa and Orlando and got popular as the cheap option, but cheap attracted speculators. Investors piled in during the boom, bought to flip or rent, and now those bets aren't paying off. Lakeland is one of the 5 Florida markets Cotality identifies as having a very high risk of further price decline. Prices are down about 2.5% year over year, and the foreclosure pressure here is among the worst for any mid-size metro in the country. When your whole value proposition is it's cheaper than Tampa and Tampa itself is crashing, the math stops working. City number 7, Palm Bay. Home values in Palm Bay have dropped about 4.1% over the past year, and experts are warning of 10 to 15% further declines over the next 18 to 24 months. Palm Bay saw a flood of new construction during the pandemic aimed at buyers under $300,000, but that demand has dried up. The city now has record inventory levels and homes sitting for over 86 days. It was supposed to be the affordable Space Coast. Now it's oversupplied, overbuilt, and overpriced for local incomes. City number 6, Tampa. Tampa's correction is no longer a prediction. It's 13 plus months of consecutive annual declines. The average home value in the Tampa metro is $354,666, down 6% over the past year, according to Zillow. The condo market is far worse. Condos and townhomes have dropped 12% compared to 1.5% for single-family homes. Tampa has over 11 months of condo inventory. A balanced market is 4 to 6. Tampa also took 2 direct hurricane hits in 2 weeks during Helene and Milton in 2024, the first major strike since 1921. Storm-damaged areas saw prices drop up to 30%. Realtor.com projects another 3.6% decline through 2026. Real quick, if this data is helping you see what's really happening, hit that bell. We drop new Florida numbers every single week, and the viewers who catch it first make the smartest moves. City number 5, Fort Lauderdale. Fort Lauderdale's prestige is running headfirst into market reality. Condo listing prices are down 10.8% compared to 2023, and the city sits right in the middle of South Florida's insurance and special assessment crisis. Redfin has identified Fort Lauderdale among the areas most likely to cool in 2026 due to natural disaster risk and surging insurance costs. Buildings that can't meet Fannie and Freddie insurance requirements are locked out of conventional financing, meaning your buyer pool just shrank to cash-only purchasers who are going to lowball you. City number 4, Northport, Sarasota. Realtor.com identified this metro as having the largest year-over-year home price decline among all major U.S. metros, not just Florida, nationally. Home prices here have dropped 17.4% from their 2022 peak. Condo values in the Northport, Sarasota area are down 12.2% year-over-year. Realtor.com forecasts another 8.9% decline through 2026. The single-family side has held up slightly better, but the broader trend is being driven by the same forces: insurance, hurricane exposure, and an oversupply of pandemic-era inventory that sellers simply cannot move at the prices they paid. City number 3, Cape Coral. This is where the data starts getting alarming. Cape Coral Fort Myers home prices have dropped 18.8% from their 2022 peak. Between January 2025 and January 2026, prices fell another 9.19%. Condo values specifically have cratered 14.2% year over year. ATTOM data shows Cape Coral having one of the highest foreclosure rates among major metros. And average insurance premiums in this area are estimated at over $8,600 per year, more than many people's monthly mortgage payments. Hurricane Ian devastated this region in 2022, and the insurance companies haven't forgotten. Builders are still delivering new supply, which is putting even more pressure on resale prices. The Wall Street Journal called Cape Coral the worst housing market in the country. 5 years earlier, Forbes named it one of the best places to invest. If you're still here, the last 2 cities are where it gets the most serious. City number 2, Miami. And here's the one that kept us up, because Miami isn't supposed to be on this list. Miami is supposed to be bulletproof, billionaire money, international buyers, 0 state income tax. But strip away the luxury headlines, and here's the truth. Miami-Dade condo values have dropped 7.2% year over year. There were 251% more condo sellers than buyers in August 2025. For every 1 buyer, 3.5 sellers. UBS has ranked Miami as the #1 most at-risk housing market in the world for bubble risk, with a score exceeding the peak of the 2006 bubble. Not the country, the world. The luxury market masks it, but underneath, the middle market is breaking. Only 14% of renter households in Miami can afford to buy. The income needed for a single-family home here is $168,000. The average dual-earner household makes $115,000. The math is broken. City number 1, Punta Gorda, the city most people have never heard of with the worst numbers in America. Punta Gorda home prices have plunged 25.3% from their July 2022 peak. 1 in every $4 of value gone. Between January 2025 and January 2026, prices dropped another 11.93%, the worst of any metro in the entire country. Condo values here have cratered 18.6% year over year, the steepest condo decline in all of Florida. Hurricane Ian tore through in 2022. Insurance premiums make ownership nearly impossible for anyone on a fixed income, which is most of Punta Gorda because it's overwhelmingly retirees. and the migration wave that was supposed to keep replacing buyers collapsed 93%. Local industry experts say sellers are better off getting out sooner rather than later because prices aren't coming back. So there it is, 8 Florida cities: Lakeland, Palm Bay, Tampa, Fort Lauderdale, North Port Sarasota, Cape Coral, Miami, and Punta Gorda. Here's what to do. If you're a homeowner, check your equity today. Not 2022 equity, today's equity. If you're in a condo, talk to your HOA board immediately and find out what special assessments are coming. The worst position is finding out about a $200,000 assessment after your neighbors have already listed. If you're a seller who needs to move in the next 6 to 12 months, price to reality on day one. Homes priced correctly are still selling. Homes priced to 2022 are sitting 100 plus days and then getting lowballed. Every month you wait is potentially a lower price. If you're a buyer, this is starting to become your market in a lot of these cities. Not everywhere, and don't rush. But Cape Coral, Punta Gorda, Tampa, real reductions and motivated sellers for the first time in years. Negotiate hard, ask for closing cost credits, and rate buydowns. Sellers are saying yes to things they would have laughed at 18 months ago. The migration wave is gone. Insurance is crushing owners. The condo market is in its worst decline since 2009. And March didn't bring the spring bounce everyone was hoping for. The data is clear. Subscribe with the bell on. Drop a comment telling us which Florida city surprised you the most. See you in the next one.